Young age 13-year-old Brandon Sorensen and 15-year-old Amanda Sorensen from the Sin City of Las Vegas, Nevada. These second-generation racers in the Sorensen family are no strangers to off-road. Under their father, Randy Sorensen, the 20-year veteran of off-road racing, has since passed his knowledge, expertise, and passion to his kids. Randy Sorensen fell in love with off-road racing in 1988 while helping a friend in the famous Vegas to Reno race. He started racing competitively that following year. After years of racing and breaking parts, Randy taught himself how to weld and fabricate his own parts. Soon the word spread and he started making custom parts for racers, which landed him a spot in ATV magazine. Randy is a dedicated off-road racer. He worked a construction job by day while building off-road cars in the evening. After years of his hard work and dedication, Randy worked his way up through the off-road classes, building and racing everything from a Class 10 buggy, Class 3 Jeep, all the way up to a Class 7 race truck. With multiple podiums in different classes, Randy strongly believed that desert racing is all about having fun together. One of his most memorable moments was winning the 40th Mint 400 in 2008. As his kids started getting older, he decided to retire racing so he could dedicate more time with his kids and introduce them into the world of racing. Brandon and Amanda started out on BMX. As they grew, they learned more about off-road racing. The hunger for winning championships started gaining traction at an early age. Once behind the wheel, they didn't let anything stand in the way of the podium. Every endeavor in racing that they ever went after, they have exceeded to win the championship. Brandon progressed his career learning an all-new racing environment by getting involved in Lucas Oil Off-Road Short Course, racing in trophy cars. He adapted quickly, learning the fundamentals of car control, and his progression was quickly getting noticed.
I'm Brandon Sorensen. I kind of got my start to racing when I was 3 years old in BMX. I progressed, and then we went to the state nationals, and then the nationals for the country, and then made it to Grands, and I got 6th place, and I was the 6th fastest 5-year-old in the world on a BMX bike. After that, I graduated to go-karts, won a championship in California and the Las Vegas Karting Club, and then we progressed to off-road racing and mod carts. We just basically had fun with mod carts, used it for seat time, and this year we're racing the 50th Mint 400 in a trophy light. Hopefully we can come out on top. My dad won it about 10 years ago in Class 7. And hopefully we can continue the family legacy. But I'm super glad to have him as my dad because he does so much for me. He gives me so many opportunities to start my career at this age, and without him I would not be this far. Over the years, my dad has trained me and taught me to drive very smart, and so I can see every single little rock in the road so I don't pop a tire, and I also try to pay attention to every other little detail I can. And so we have a high chances of finishing the race. I'm really looking forward to this race because I've never raced anything this big yet in a trophy light. It's got all this travel and it's a pretty big truck. I'm used to Yamahas and little mod carts, and so this is a really big step up for our team.
As a little kid, 11-year-old skying that big jump, my God, Brandon Sorensen out of Las Vegas. Future R.J. Anderson in that green car.
Last year I began drifting, and drifting is basically the opposite of grip racing. It's like driving sideways. Drifting is a lot different from anything I've ever done. You're not worried about racing to the front. It is also about style and car control, and is judged. It is like a dance competition between two cars. This driving technique is very hard and has taught me many different things about driving and car control. My goal in drifting is to become the youngest driver in Formula Drift and win a Pro 1 championship, the highest level of drifting in the United States.
Brandon has proven his skill set for racing to his fans and is ready to compete in this year's Mint 400 series. Amanda Sorensen is a fierce competitor on and off the track. With years of competing in racing, not only does she have the dedication and drive to get on the podium, but she understands the marketing and media side it takes to get there. Amanda's outgoing, energetic personality sure leaves a lasting impression on her friends and fans. At a young age, Amanda was influenced by her father's passion for racing.
I started racing when I was around 5 years old. My dad put my brother and I into BMX, where we were able to get the whole feel for the whole racing atmosphere and learn to deal with the competitiveness and all of the adrenaline that comes with it. Shortly after that, he put us into go-karting, where I took home 2 championships, and I was able to get a feel for the outside, inside, outside, which is needed to be a good and competitive driver. My first season in the short course, I was racing mod karts, and my second season I stepped into a UTV where I took home the championship in 2016.
Amanda Sorensen, she's 13 years old. RJ Anderson doesn't have balls like this. This 13-year-old girl had more guts and more balls than I've ever seen anybody have in a razor before. Absolutely mind-blowing.
Shortly after that, I got a taste for the desert. Racing a little bit of the Works series, took home multiple wins in the Women's and Production 1000 class, and it has really prepared me for the Mint 400 because this is going to be my first big desert race. It's nothing like the other ones. It's 400 miles long. My passion for racing comes from my dad. He introduced me into the whole desert world where I fell in love. As soon as I hop in the car, buckle my seatbelt, turn the engine on, sitting and staging, all of those adrenaline-filling thoughts go through my mind, and I start to get the nervous little shakes. My knees start shaking. The adrenaline is something that I crave. I crave the adrenaline. This year I began drifting, and stepping into a drift car versus a mod car or razor is completely different. Having to drift the whole entire track then just throw the car sideways into a turn has taught me a lot of car control. Being able to just go into the turn and throw it without second guessing myself and the car being sideways and knowing what to do when I come out of it. My goal for drifting is to be the first girl in Pro 1. I'm really dedicated and gonna put my foot down to get where I need to.
With their commitment to racing and learning from past experiences, Team Sorensen Motorsports is ready to take on the Mint 400 and put their skills to the test. The combined talent of both rookies behind the wheel should make this year's Mint 400 a humbling racing experience.